It seems, in general, people don't prefer rain on their weekend. But rainfall the last few days was surely welcomed by some Chicagoans. That's because 3.75 inches of total precipitation in Chicago between March and May makes for the city's third driest spring since record keeping began in 1871, according to the Illinois State Climatologist. As of today, the National Weather Service classifies the northern part of Cook County as falling under severe drought conditions. Joining us to discuss the drier than normal weather and its impact are Julie Janoski, the Morton Arboretum's plant clinic manager, and Scott Collis, an atmospheric scientist at Argonne National Laboratory. Welcome back to both of you. Scott, starting with you, please. From your perspective, how unusual are these recent conditions?
Well, this is what we call a flash drought. We went from last year having one of the wettest Mays on record to the second driest May on record. We are really falling behind in rainfall. And while there was some much needed rainfall this weekend, it fell in a really patchy manner.
And Julie, what kind of impact does this drought have on our local ecosystem?
Well, it's going to have both short-term and long-term impacts at this point. The soil is very dry, down to about 10 or 12 inches, in fact. And so in the short term, you're going to see plants wilting, you'll see crispy leaves, a little bit of scorch, possibly even some plant death. Long term, however, what this is doing, this dryness is killing the root systems of trees and shrubs. And so over time, they'll be unable, once we do get some water, to absorb as much water as they used to. So it's going to have a long-term impact as well as the short term.
Scott, on a national scale, what kinds of drought conditions are different parts of the country experiencing?
So as Julie said, in the Midwest, we're kind of seeing this north-south gradient from some drought to severe drought. It's really bad out west. So from Colorado through Nevada to California, we're at historic drought levels right as we go into this year's fire season.
And so, Julie, how should anyone who's tending their yard or garden, what should they be doing to compensate for the drought?
If it's available and if you are able, you should be watering. Water all of your plants as much as you can. You don't have to do it every day. Long, slow watering is much more effective over, once a week rather than doing 15 minutes every day. But even big old trees who people think are immune to these sorts of droughts are going to be affected by this one. And so if you've got trees in your yard that have been there a long time, even those will need some water at this point.
Scott, what impact has the drier than normal weather had on local lake levels?
So lake levels are sitting at around about 36 inches above normal. And why that might sound like really full, they're down 20 inches from this time last year, from the record lake levels we had last year. So when you think about an average lake level, we're almost halfway back to that average level in less than a year. And given the volumes of the Great Lake and the fact that we lose most of our water from the Great Lakes through evaporation, that's phenomenal. And it really is a signature of just how dry it's been.
And Julie, are there certain things or to plant that are more drought resistant? Maybe a way you could spare yourself some of that added watering?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are trees and shrubs, things like, sumacs and nine barks and some oak trees that are really tolerant of drought once they're established. The trick is that if they're new plants, then you really do still need to water them.
On the flip side of that, are there some plants that just don't do very well in droughts at all?
Absolutely. And I think you'll see that starting to happen now. We're seeing birches losing their leaves early with yellowing leaves. We're seeing redbud leaves starting to curl up a little bit. We're seeing some scorch on a number of other things. So yeah, there are a number of things that just do not tolerate drought at all.
Scott, Chicago saw its driest spring since the 1930s. What would you say, what does that tell you about the relationship between droughts and climate change?
So you can't attribute any one drought or any one storm to climate change. What climate change does is it loads the dice. So if you had a six-sided dice, and let's say every time you rolled a one, you'd get drought, especially a flash drought. In some areas, that's the case. You're going to roll that one more often. So with climate change, it's a little tricky because it's not just about drought. In actual fact, most climate change projections have Illinois seeing more rain, but more rain in more extreme events with greater drier periods between. So, as a plant lover and looking out to my beloved red buds in my front garden, it's something that doesn't make me happy listening to what Julie's saying.
Yeah. Would you normally expect more thunderstorms during this time of year?
Yes, if you like thunderstorms, you have been sorely disappointed. Chicago's peak storm season is in this, May through June type of period. And what's really happened is we've had all the ingredients. It's been hot, it's been humid. So everything at the surface seems like it's lining up, but the upper atmosphere hasn't cooperated. We don't have that cold air that's fought down by the jet stream above us. So we've got this warm air above, which is effectively capping those thunderstorms. They actually bring so much of Chicago's springtime and early summertime rainfall.
And Julie, what kind of summer conditions would you like to see for better plant growth?
Well, I mean, ideally it would rain at least an inch once a week, right? Because for Midwestern plants, that's sort of the rule of thumb. You're hoping that everybody gets an inch of rain or an inch of water a week. At this point, we'd be happy with anything. Any rain at all in the next few months would be really helpful.
Not that it's up to any of us anyway to pick the weather, but I'm sure some rain would be nice. We'll have to leave it there. My thanks to Julie Janoski and Scott Collis for joining us.
Thank you.